the 10 highest grossing movies to never be number one at the box office. So basically, to never dominate a weekend at the box office. So at number 10 is The Smurfs. So technically, it was number one for its opening day, but then it was but then overall the weekend went to Cowboys and Aliens, which also debuted the same weekend. Surprisingly, the movie ended up making $536 million. At number 10 and at number 9, and this is this is by far the most recent addition to the list, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This one came out like 3 months ago. Yeah, 3 months ago in one day. Who dominated instead? I hate to say it, but Lilo and Stitch. This movie made $597 million. But sadly, it had that $800 million budget, so yeah. I mean, the problem is, so it was even still, it was a box office flop. Sad thing is, it was a really good movie. At number 8 is Casino Royale. Who dominated instead? This is very shocking to me. Happy Feet, which I think it ended up making about 350 or 360 million. Casino Royale ended up making $606 million and starting the Daniel Craig era of James Bond. This was the highest grossing James Bond movie for the next 6 years, until Skyfall dethroned it in 2012. At number 7 is How to Train Your Dragon 2. Who was number 1 instead? 22 Jump Street. And I'm honestly shocked because I don't even remember how much 22 Jump Street made. I just remember it was a lot less than How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is was the trilogy's most successful film, grossing $621 million, and it's the highest grossing animated How to Train Your Dragon film, because now the live action reboot is now number 1 by a couple million. At number 6 is Sing. Who was number 1 instead? Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. Yes, it actually debuted. I think very close to Star Wars, or to Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. Like a couple days before or after. I think a couple days after. Man, that was really bad timing. As you know, Rogue One ended up making $1 billion. Sing ended up making $634 million. At number 5 is Kung Fu Panda 2. Who's number 1 instead? The Hangover Part 2. This is interesting because this movie also came out a week after Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger's Tides, and a week before X-Men First Class. So, my God, theaters were busy. Yeah. Instead, The Hangover Part 2 was number 1. The Hangover Part 2 ended up making about almost $600 million. And becoming one of and as of today, the 11th highest grossing R-rated movie. But a critical flop. Kung Fu Panda 2, however, made more, grossing $665 million. And if I'm correct, I believe the franchise's highest grossing film? Alright, number 4 is Mamma Mia. Who was number 1 instead? The Dark Knight, which ended up making $1 billion and the highest grossing movie of 2008. Mamma Mia made $706 million. I'm honestly shocked that it made this much, because it's an original idea, and against The Dark Knight. I mean, man, I'm shocked. At number 3 is another Christopher Nolan movie. Is a Christopher Nolan movie, Interstellar. You're gonna see another Christopher Nolan movie on this list. Who was in number 1 instead? Big Hero 6. I think that ended up making $650 million or something. They came out the same day, but Interstellar overall made more, grossing about $758 million total. At number 2 is Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Who was number 1 instead? Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Man, it's kind of crazy to think that 2 movies from giant franchises released, and they both became giant. Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs is I think is the franchise's highest grossing film, grossing $886 million. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen made $836 million and became at the time the franchise's highest grossing movie, but at the time there were only 2 movies, so not much competition. But the next movie dethroned it. But the highest grossing movie to never be number 1 at the box office is Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer made $975 million globally, and who dominated instead? It's pretty easy to. I don't know if you've ever been on the internet, because it's Barbie, Barbenheimer. So Oppenheimer never got the chance to take the box office crown due to Barbie. That'll be all for today's video. Also, how many of these are 1, 2, 3, 4? I've seen only 4 of these, and I mean, I can say for sure Casino Royale's the best of them. That'll be all for today's video. Drop down in the comments other examples you can think of. World War Z is number 11. You can also drop down in the comments which ones are you surprised by? Like, I'm surprised Happy Feet beat Casino Royale. How Cowboys and Aliens beat Smurfs. Anyway, check out my channel for more content like this, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.